Okay, so I'm going to go through each section and do one with you. For 1 through 3, I'm not going to do them. Mono means 1. Bi means, and tri means. Okay. Number 4, find the sum or difference for 4 through 7. All you're doing is combining like terms. But on number 6 and 7, there is something that must be done first. Who can tell me what it is? Keep change, as many changes as you need to make. So let's do number 7. Because there's a subtraction here, it changes every value in the parentheses behind it. So you change, 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 change. These are the problems that I taught you that it's helpful to use highlighters if you want, or you could stack them if you want. But basically, I'm looking for the highest exponent, which is this one. Is there anything for me to combine with that negative 2k to the 4th? No, so I'm just going to write it first. And then I'm going to mark it off that I did it. Now I'm looking at the next biggest exponent, which is k to the 3rd. Is there anything for me to combine with this positive 3k to the 3rd? So I write positive 3k to the 3rd, and I'm done with it. Now excuse me. Now I'm looking for the next biggest exponent, which is k squared. Is there anything for me to combine with that? Yes or no? No, so I write minus k squared, and I'm done with it. Now I'm looking for the next, which is k. Is there anything for me to combine with that? Yes or no? No, so I write plus 7k. And then my last pieces are my regular numbers. Can I combine them? Yes. What is 5 plus 6? 11. And that is as simplified as it can get because there's nothing I can combine. You all remember how to do this? Yes or no? All right. On the next part, you're multiplying polynomials. For 9 through 11, can you do FOIL? On 8, can you do FOIL? No. So let's do number 8 together. Remember, this is where you're going to take the first term and multiply it by everything in the second parentheses. So I'm going to do 5b squared times b. What is 5 times 1? 5. What is b squared times b? B to the 3rd. All right, now I'm going to do it times this one. What is 5 times 6? Positive 30. And b squared can't be, so I just put b squared. I'm now done with this one, and I'm going to move on to this one. What coefficient is in front of this? A negative 1. So I'm going to do negative 1 times positive 1, which is negative 1, and what's b times b? So I have negative 1b squared, and I put it under this because b squareds can be combined with b squareds. Now I'm going to do this times 6. So what's negative 1 times 6? Negative 6 with a b. I'm now done with that one. Now I'm going to do the negative 7. Negative 7 times b is negative 7b, and negative 7 times 6 is negative 42. Now I combine like terms. So I have 5b cubed plus 30 minus 1 is 29b squared. Negative 6 plus negative 7 is negative 13b minus 42. On 9 through 11, you can use FOIL. Just remember to combine those two middle terms. Any questions there? Okay, turn the page. On these are special products. There were special rules. To be honest, when I looked at y'all's papers, I didn't like what I saw with you using the special rules, so I personally would tell you to do what? Do FOIL and you'll never mess up. So for this one, it would be x plus 11 times x plus 11. First, outer, inner, last. On number 13, it's going to be 6y plus 1 times 6y plus 1. Like I said, when I was watching y'all try to do the special rules to do shortcuts, y'all were really messing up, where when you do FOIL, you really do well. So I'm just going to recommend FOIL. Make sense? Okay. Do I need to do any of those with you, or y'all good at FOIL? Okay. Remember, it's first, outer, inner, last, and then combine those like terms. 16 through 19 says solve the equation. To solve a quadratic equation, you must set it equal to, is number 16 set equal to 0? Yes, so it's good. Is number 18 set equal to 0? So the first thing I have to do, so we're going to do number 18 together, is move this 9m to the left by doing what? So I have m squared minus 9m equals 0. Now where can I solve these at? Calculator. So we go to our calculator. We go to y equals. We type in x squared minus 9x for y1. And for y2 we put in 0. How many answers should there pretty much be? 2. Can there only be 1? Yes, if it only touches once. Second trace, option 5, wait for it to graph. And I'm looking for the 2 answers of where it's touching the x-axis. The first one is touching at 0, so m is equal to 0. And the second one, I need to move my cursor over there. Enter, enter, enter. The second one is touching at the 9. Any questions on that part? Yes or no? Okay, the next part is factoring. To factor, I taught you the X method. So right up here, write X method. Draw an X. What goes in the top part is A times C. What goes in the bottom part is B. Yes? Do y'all remember this or no? And then what goes here are your factors of AC that add up to B, and you always put it over A. And then you simplify it, and then those are your answers. All right, let's do number 20. So I'm just going to draw a little X over here. Everybody ready? All right, so I'm doing A times C. So what is A? 1 times 26 is 26. And then B goes here. What's B? 15. I am looking for factors of 26 that add up to 15. If I don't know my factors, I can go in my calculator and I can do 26 divided by x, and that will tell me that 13 times 2 is 26, and pretty much 1 times 26, and that's it. Everything else is a decimal. Do y'all see that? So would 1 plus 26 give me 15? Would 13 and 2 give me 15? Yes. So 13 and 2 have to be my factors. But I place them over A. Well, what is A? 1. Then I ask myself, are those simplified fractions? Yes, so these are the numbers that I'm going to use. And then it's bottoms up. The bottom number goes first with the x, or this is an n, so I'm going to put an n. So 1n plus 13 times 1n plus 2. Then can I check my work by doing FOIL? So n times n is n squared first, outer, plus 2n plus 13n. Will those give me 15n? Yes, and last, 13 times 2 gives me 26. So I did good. That's my answer. Y'all remember how to do the x method. All right, turn the page. The next one wants you to solve the equation. Again, you must set them equal to 0. Let's go do 24 together. So I have 7x squared minus 8x plus 1 equals 0. Where can I solve this at? Could I also factor it and solve it? Yes. All right, let's do our calculator. 7x squared minus 8x plus 1. And the second equation is 0. When I am doing these in my calculator, you all should be doing them in your calculator. Not sitting there. Second trace, option 5. I'm going to go for this first part right here. That's a pretty crazy decimal, isn't it? If I want to know that fraction, I can go type it in my calculator and hit math fraction enter, or I could have factored this, set it equal to 0 and solved. But my first answer is going to be x equals 0.1428,571. And again, if I want to know that as a fraction, math fraction enter. It didn't work because it's obviously a repeating, like it keeps going. So I'll show y'all in a second how you could have done that by hand. I'm going to go find the other intersection, which is right here. It looks like it's at 1, and it is. So what if I wanted to know what that really was? Could I have factored this? So just for practice, I'm going to show y'all. What is A times C? 7. What is B? So negative 7 times negative 1 would give me positive 7, yes? And negative 7 plus negative 1 would give me negative 8. But I'll have to put it over A. What is A?
7.
Okay. Is that simplified? No. So I have negative 1 over 1, and that is simplified. Bottoms up, 1x minus 1 times 7x minus 1. Okay? Yes. All right, so I set these equal to 0. This one's going to be easy. It's just going to be x equals 1, which we already got. But if I set this equal to 0, 7x minus 1 equals 0. So I would plus 1 divide by 7. So what is the fraction? So you can solve these by factoring, especially if you're getting some crazy answer. Everybody understand? All right, moving on. At the bottom, when it asks you to factor special products, you can do them the exact same way with the x method. The only issue is there's a piece missing. So you have to put something in that piece. So if I have z squared, what's the z? You can't make up a 1. If it's not there, what do we call a number that's not there? 0z minus 225. This is your A, this is your B, this is your C. Because to do the x method, you need an A, a B, and a C. Yes? Y'all understand why I put that 0z there? Because my B is 0. All right, so A times C is, come on guys, negative 225. What is B? So I'm looking for a number multiplied to give me negative 225 that will give me 0. Guys, it's a perfect square. Like, what's the perfect square of 100? 10. 10 times 10 is 100. Yes? What times itself is that? 15. If I didn't know that, could I go to y equals and do negative 225 divided by x? Oops. And everybody would see 15 times 15 is? Wouldn't 15 plus negative 15 also give me 0? Okay. So 15 times negative 15 gives me negative 225 and also adds up to 0. Put it over a. What's a? So I have z plus 15 and z minus 15. The biggest thing on these is if it doesn't have an A, a B, and a C, you have to give it one. Does this one have an A, B, and a C? Yes, so it's good. Does this one? So what is that middle number going to be? 0x. Everybody good? And that's it. All right, get busy.